Good morning, this is Dustin with Orlando Painters. We are here on our third and final day at Tampa Made Foods in Lakeland, Florida. And we're finishing up these two industrial scrubber units. You'll see in the prior videos we made a before video, a during video, and this our final during video. These units were completely covered with rust and who knows how many layers of paint. All kinds of different types of paint as well. Chipping, flaking, peeling, bubbled up paint. The corrosion has really gotten to these units. As you can see, you can probably tell from just the video, but I have other better photos. You can see all the textured metal. You can see where it's all just pitted something unbelievable, and there's, like I said, I don't know how many layers of different types of coatings on here already. They're just trying to get a little bit more longevity out of these scrubber units before they start after replacing steel. So we came in here, we grinded on them, we cleaned them first with commercial pressure washers and rotary turbo tips and stuff, and got all the loose paint and loose rust off of them. And then we grinded every single thing, sanded everything, and then we completely thoroughly washed them again to get all the grinding dust and any other flaking rust and paint and stuff that we got off during the grinding and sanding process. Generally, when we spray newer equipment or really in good condition metal without all the rust and corrosion and all the pitting and divots in the metal and all that stuff, generally we'll spray it all. But in this case, it wouldn't have mattered if we sprayed it all anyway, because the metal's so beat up. It's all just, as you can see, all the texture in it from all the pitting from the corrosion, and then all the different layers of coatings. People have rolled on, I don't know who knows how many different types of coatings through the years on this, so no matter if you spray it or not, you're still going to see all the kind of unevenness and textured and all textured stuff that's existing. So, and you have so much open metal, when you spray this, you're just going to have overspray flying everywhere. And any industrial painting contractor knows when you put a high build two-part epoxy primer on anything and you spray it, that stuff just floats and floats and floats in the air until it hits something. And it doesn't dry like regular house paint where it goes 100 feet and it's already dry in the air. By the time it hits something, it's dust already. That's not the case when you're using these two-part solvent-based two-part epoxies. They're heavy and they take a while to dry, and they just stay floating in the air until it lands and hits something, and generally that's never a good thing. It's usually hitting cars in a parking lot or adjacent nearby buildings or any other thing that's in its path. So all this both structures were all hand rolled with smooth roller naps, so we could get it as smooth as we could get it. Not that it matters when you're going over all that other stuff that's already existing. So we rolled on 2 coats of a two-part epoxy primer to really combat the rust. In most cases, a one coat of a two-part is sufficient, but in this case, the corrosion was so severe we went with 2 coats. So 2 coats of that, and then today they're finishing up putting a 2-part polyurethane on for color retention. The only thing we're spraying on these 2 units are on this one, the floor. You can see it's got metal grid, kind of like a metal grate, I should say, on the floor, and those are about impossible to roll. I think they rolled a couple 2 coats of an epoxy primer on it yesterday, and I had 9 guys here, and it was just taking forever. They're just tiny little rectangles, millions of them, almost. So they got that done. But today, you see the guys over on the other side, you can see them. There's 3 or 4 guys over there, and they're just holding up big cardboard sheets and then on the ground so we don't get any overspray. Even though they're replacing this roof, we don't like to get overspray all over everything. So they're putting cardboard on the ground, they're kind of making little cardboard walls, and they're actually spraying that floor, which is no big deal. Over here, we're not doing the floor on the upper level or the lower level. That's a new, fairly new stainless steel grate that's welded to the floor. All these here, these all came up. These are not welded. The guys pulled all those out yesterday. Primed and painted everything that it's attached to. And then they hand primed all that floor. So they put them back in place this morning. They let them dry overnight, let the primer do its job. And now they're over there spraying the 2-part polyurethane on it. The top floor, I don't know if they've done that or not yet. I think they've already completed that floor. This unit's not getting it, obviously, like I said. Generally, when we paint structures where the metal and the whole structure is sound, and it still has a nice, you know, most of the time it's just faded real bad, and there could be a lot of surface corrosion and stuff, but generally when you still have a smooth surface, what we do when we come in and we paint these, because we do quite a bit of projects like this, a lot actually, we just build walls. We build plastic walls almost like a spray booth, and we'll just wrap everything that's not getting, you know, that we don't want to get paint on, like the stainless steel housing here in the middle. Generally we'll plastic that whole thing off, and then we'll build walls around the perimeter of the structure itself, plastic walls, and then we'll go in there and put our respirators on. The guys do, they put the respirators on and get full suited up, and we'll spray every bit of it, and when you get done it looks like it came from the factory that way. It has a perfectly smooth factory finish look to it, but just the best available products on the market, so it holds up. But in this case, it's way too much openness. All those handrails, you got all that space in between. That overspray is just going to go flying all over the place. And like I said, the metal's so bad as it is that it wouldn't have made a difference if you sprayed it or not. It's not going to make the final product look any different. These products are pretty much self-leveling. They smooth themselves out really, really well. And you can still see the texture from the old stuff. So this one here, the upper structure here, going from the platform itself up to the top, all that metal is pretty smooth there. I think they may have replaced that at one point, but you can see the foundation itself on both of them are just pretty corroded. But this, using 2 coats of a 2-part epoxy primer and then top coating it with the 2-part polyurethane, they'll certainly get more life out of these units before they have to start replacing metal. But like I said, normally we like to set up, basically create spray booth areas, you know, and get in there and get fully suited up and spray everything. So we do a lot of this stuff, and you can make some of this stuff look like it was just constructed, you know, yesterday afternoon or something. But it's, if you look at the prior videos I made, you'll see that it's just absolutely night and day. Kind of the powers that be already came up here and took a look at these 2 units, and they're pretty amazed by what they look like. So 3 coats of industrial coatings on here will definitely give them the longevity they were looking for. But we'd like to thank Tampa Made Foods for the business. We certainly appreciate it. Did a lot of work for them last year and made them real happy. I'm glad they called us back to do some more work for them. They're getting a lot of work done out here right now. New roof put on, welders are changing out pipes, color coding pipes. So, but by the end of the day, these will be all finished. I think this unit's pretty much completely done except for spraying these floors. That one there, they've got about halfway done with the polyurethane. They got a little bit more to go. You can see the difference. If you look at that metal that's going right above that floor grate there, you'll see that one, there's 1, 2, 3 sections. The one section's got the 2-part polyurethane on it right there. And then if you look to the next two, that's still the 2-part epoxy primer. You can see that it's a little bit difference of a color there. The 2-part polyurethane is real bright, vivid yellow. That macro epoxy is still really bright, vivid yellow, just a little bit more of an orange tint to it. Not much, but you can see the difference. And when it's done, it is bright, bright yellow like they want, and it's got a real nice gloss to it. And then it really holds up against fading versus like any of this type of stuff. This has been a long time, but that's what any regular basic yellow paint's gonna do outside. It's gonna turn this faded look in no time at all. This is a little bit severe. This probably hasn't been painted for 20 years, but you can see the difference in the yellows just by looking at the handrails here to that unit right there. But this stuff really holds up real well, 2-part polyurethane. So, but again, this is Dustin with Orlando Painters LLC out of Orlando, Florida. www.orlandopainters.net. I want to thank you for watching this video on another one of our industrial painting projects here in Lakeland, Florida. Appreciate you taking the time to watch this and just seeing what kind of work we do. Thank you and have a wonderful day.